Hello, friends. I hope you're enjoying this week of prayer. This is an important week for us and for the church. And I hope you're enjoying this devotion we're doing together. And the videos that Pastor Dan and myself are doing about the names and the nature of Jesus. And I'm doing today the divine Jesus. And divine means this, the nature of being a God or being God. It means being a supreme being, being the Almighty, being the ultimate author, the ultimate creator, being a deity, okay? And his name on this earth was Jesus, and his nature while he was on this earth was, as we heard yesterday, he was fully human. But his humanity was important, but also, like I said, as we're talking about today, his divinity is very important. So whenever I was thinking about this, praying about this devotion, something stuck out to me, the book of John did, when Jesus was talking about himself and who he is, okay? And I want to share that with you in this moment together today. In John 6:35, he says, I am the bread of life. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. Okay, in John 8:12, he says, I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness because you will have the light that leads to life. In John 10:9, he says, I am the gate. And he says, those who come in through me will be saved. They will come and go freely and will find good pastures. In John 10:11, he says this, I am the good shepherd. And the good shepherd sacrifices his life for the sheep. And in John 11:25, he says, I am the resurrection and the life. And anyone who believes in me will live even after dying. In John 14:6, he says this, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. And in John 15:1, he says, I am the grapevine, and my Father is the gardener. I am. It's two simple words, but two big words. And all of these words come strictly straight from the mouth of Jesus, talking about himself, pointing to himself, okay? And he was fully human, but he was so much more than that also. And saying all that, he fulfilled the prophecies of the Old Testament. He predicted his own resurrection. And he presents himself as the way to salvation. And as Jesus was trying and speaking to these religious people during this time, these religious leaders, they were listening to him and they mocked him, and they even said made a comment, he's demon possessed. He's calling himself God. I mean, there's something wrong with this guy. And that's even why they crucified him, if you remember, okay? And one more scripture I want to read. I want to read a little bit further than what we read earlier, John 8:52-58. He says this, he says, the people said, now we know you are possessed by a demon. Even Abraham and the prophets died, but you say, anyone who obeys my teaching will never die. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died, and so did the prophets. Who do you think you are? And Jesus answered this. He says, if I want glory for myself, it doesn't count. But it is my Father who will glorify me. You say he is our God, but you don't even know him. I know him. If I said otherwise, I would be as great as a liar as you are. But I do know him and obey him. Your father Abraham rejoiced as he looked forward to my coming. You saw it. He says, he saw it and was glad. Talking about Abraham. The people said, the religious leaders said, you aren't even 50 years old. How can you say that you've seen Abraham? And Jesus answered, I tell you the truth. He says, this is the truth. He says, before Abraham was born, I am. This was a reference to Exodus 3:14, where God reveals his name to Moses as I am. And today, as you read this devotion that we've sent out along with this video about the divine Jesus, I want you to remember and recognize him in his majesty of being like you as human, but also as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I mean, the humanity is important because, man, as we heard yesterday, man, he relates to us, But, man, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords part, man, the lordship part is very important also. And me and you have to, that's the view we need to, the picture, the way we see Jesus, that's important that we view him that way. And I want you to be encouraged today that through the humanity of Jesus, we have full access and we have availability to the divine Jesus, who is Lord over all. Thank you for watching this video with us and joining us with this devotion.